UFC 308 has just finished, and boy was I wrong. I thought Rob was going to beat up Khamzat, and that just did not happen. And I also thought Max was going to beat Ilia, and that definitely didn't happen either. But let's get into the card. I kind of semi-watched the whole thing because it was Abu Dhabi times, or Dubai times, sorry, so it's like UK pretty much. Start with the pirate, double spinning back fist. I don't even know what you would call that. I mean, he's gone and hit one from one side, turned around and done the other. Like, he hit the Uno card in the middle of a UFC fight, and I don't think I've ever seen that happen. That's crazy. Great performance by the Bullet. He did really well. I did think his opponent was getting a bit of the best of him in the first round, but he came out in the second round, and he's such an entertaining fighter. Like, I'm really excited to see where he goes. I mean, he's called out Israel Adesanya, so we see if he gets that fight. You know, he throws a lot of interesting stuff, so I'm excited to see that. Moving on to Ankalaev, I'm skipping Murphy. It was a boring fight. I'm glad he won, but not much happened apart from him getting rocked. Anyway, Ankalaev's performance, I'm not impressed. I haven't watched a lot of Ankalaev yet. I watched the Johnny Walker's fight, the DQ, and then Ankalaev won, but I don't think he's that great at all. You know, people are talking like he's gonna beat the shit out of Alex Pereira, and I just can't see that happening at all. That not off last night's performance. Last night's performance was abysmal. He just was doing enough to win rounds, and yeah, I do think he won the fight, but I just don't. I think if he stands like that in front of Alex Pereira, I think Alex Pereira is gonna chew up the leg a lot more than Ratchik did, and I just think that Alex Pereira is going to knock him out. I mean, he would have to mix in takedowns, but I don't really know what his ground game is, like what it's like. I mean, I've been told it's not amazing. You know, people think because he's Dagestani that he's like some amazing wrestler, but he's not. So yeah, I think Alex Pereira knocks him out pretty comfortably. Khamzat Chimaev and Rob Whittaker. This was insane. I mean, I thought Rob was just going to do enough. I mean, there was about 2 minutes left on the round. I thought, yeah, that's all right. Rob's going to be all right. Like, he's covering up. He's defending the submissions well. Comes out just a little bit on his jaw and it snapped. So I'm wondering if he broke it down. He did like 93 elbows, and I'm wondering if he broke his jaw during that, and then it smashed, and then went on the squeeze. Because he tapped within like the first 2 seconds, like not even 2 seconds. But Khamzat is the real deal, you know. I think Rob's jaw must be sus. I've been reading stuff on Twitter about he got it broken as a kid, and then Israel broke it, and now Khamzat's broke it. So maybe that's to do with it. But Khamzat, honestly, what a fighter, mate. And I even think he paced himself a little bit there, even though he was dominant in that first round. It was all him. I mean, Rob didn't even add a strike on him, so that's pretty insane. But yeah, even though he's dominant, I did think he wasn't rushing for the submission. He was taking his time with it. I think he was pacing himself a little bit, like pacing himself for a Khamzat sort of thing. But yeah, what a win. I mean, I don't want to see him go against DDP next. I want him to get one more win. You know, you can't fight Usman and Rob and get the belt, in my opinion. I think he needs to fight. I want to see him against Israel Adesanya. That's who I really want to see. I think he takes him down and does the exact same thing, to be honest. I mean, I doubted Khamzat. I thought that Khamzat was very good, but I didn't think he was as good as people were saying, you know, because of the Usman and the Burns performances mainly. But I was wrong. He's the real deal, mate. He took down Rob, made it look easy. So, yeah, what an interesting fighter to watch. I can't wait for a next Khamzat fight, you know, if he makes the scales, because obviously there's controversy there as well. But honestly, crazy. I mean, go on Twitter and type in Khamzat and you'll see the pictures of Rob's jaw afterwards. It was insane. The quickest tap out I've ever seen, really. It was like a panic tap out, you know. I'm not sure who can beat Khamzat, you know. I think DDP maybe because he's strong, but when Khamzat gets on top of you as well, like, I picked Rob to win, but when they were facing off in that, I didn't realise how big Khamzat was compared to Rob. I was like, shit. And obviously the weight translates so much more when you're wrestling. Like, when you're a bigger guy, like, almost beats a smaller guy every time in the wrestling. Obviously striking, it doesn't work. I mean, look at Ilia and Max. But I thought, honestly, I think Khamzat is a force to be reckoned with, and I'm starting to believe the hype again. Moving on to the main event, Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. I mean, Topuria, you know, pointing to the ground straight away. Max was like, no, did the little bull, like a matador thing, and I thought Max was winning that fight. I mean, I gave the first round to Ilia just purely on the takedown, but Max was landing that jab, and he looked good with that jab. And I thought he surprised Ilia. Ilia looked a bit shook, at the end of the first and the second. Not shook, but a bit like, oh shit! Like I thought I was gonna run through this guy, And even though he did later on the fight, like those first few rounds were very competitive. I just gave the first round to Ilia, and then the second round with Max, I gave that to Max all day. Sorry, like I literally did, and I thought he was piecing him up a little bit, like nothing too significant. I know Ilia was chopping the lead leg of Max Holloway a lot, but I just thought Max was landing the better shots on the feet because he was countering a lot. He was slipping a lot of Ilia's hooks. Ilia's hooks were like quite wide, and he was missing by quite a bit. And Max was just, that jab was just it for him. But obviously the third round came and he got clipped. And obviously, even if you're Max Holloway, if you get clipped by Ilia Topuria, then you're going out. Like that is it. Like now I have no doubts. Like I picked Max to win because I thought Max would be able to weather the storm, get rocked a few times, come back and like show his veteran skills, like his ability to go 5 rounds. He's done it 1,000 times. But obviously Ilia cracks. I might make a whole video on Ilia as well because he just hits like I've never seen it before. Like especially for a smaller guy, like a featherweight, and then a smaller guy in featherweight as well. Like he cracks harder than anyone. Like it makes Connor's punches look weak. Like to knock out Max Holloway like that was insane. And when I saw the replay of the right hand, Holloway's face was all like messed up. Like it's crazy. When I saw it, I was like, that's insane. That's insane. It's not just the power, but it's the technique behind it. Like I was saying before, it's pitch perfect. Like it's textbook. His boxing is on another level. And then when the flurry happened, and then the left hook, mate, that was insane. It was absolutely crazy by Ilia Topuria. I think it's safe to say that I won't be doubting him anymore because I did doubt him. I thought he got lucky with Volk. Volk was coming off the KO loss to Islam. But clearly not. I think Topuria is going to be around for a long while. I don't want to see him go up and fight Islam right away. I'd like for him to defeat a few other guys at featherweight. But man, what an exciting card. I was honestly nervous for the whole thing. It was a really good card. I really enjoyed it. My picks were completely wrong, but I do not care, mate, because they were so hard fights to pick anyway. Because Khamzat and Ilia, they both had question marks over them. Immune system, cardio, and then Ilia was more like, okay, yeah, he's doing bits, but he's only done bits against one guy who's sick. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm interested to see where they both go now. What an exciting card. Couldn't have gone better in my opinion. I'm really happy for both the fights. I wanted Khamzat and Ilia to win, but I thought Max and Rob would, if that makes sense. So I can't count out Max Holloway or Whittaker. So MMA is very exciting at the moment, and we've got a lot of interesting fights to come. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.